Royal Temple Yacht Club, and we have an esteemed visitor with us today. You won't believe your eyes, but we actually have Winston Churchill, who would like to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Commodore. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Can I just say, before we begin, that I had a splendid day in Ramsgate, which I saw on a sign on the way in. A big smiley face. Now look, this whole shebang began back in 1939, when my Prime Minister, Neville Chamberlain, went to Munich and signed a peace treaty with a chap called Adolf Hitler. He came home and told the country, "I have in my hand a piece of paper." Well, he might as well have wiped his ass with it, because it was worth absolutely nothing. Peace in our time, that's what he said. Well, for a year, we were in what they called a phony war, where nothing happened. But here in Ramsgate, you might have had people issued with gas masks, you might have had some children evacuated, but nothing went on for that first year. When it all began in 1940, the British Expeditionary Force had marched into France and had been roundly kicked out by the Nazis. Now they forced them back to the coast in Dunkirk. I said to Admiral Ramsay, "Bring me back 30,000 men and we can defend our island." Ramsay and I came up with the idea of the little ships. And those little ships ferried 300,000 soldiers from the beaches of Dunkirk. So let's have a round of applause.
Wow, that really, I didn't know that, I didn't know that.
I say 300,000, it was 288,000 English and 12,000 French, but we don't talk about them. Cheese-eating surrender monkeys. Now, oh, they gave in too quickly. We stood alone on our little island, alone against the might of the German army. And we were completely at the mercy of them, and they were ready to invade us. The idea was that they would leave Calais and end up in Dover, or the Straits of Dover, within weeks. But to do that, they had to beat our boys in blue, the RAF, the Brill Cream boys. And I said probably my most famous couplet that I made use of during the war, and you all know it, so you can say it with me. I said, "Never in the field of human conflict has so much been owed by so many to so few." And those few were 18, 19, 20-year-olds. If we asked the 20-year-olds of Ramsgate to defend us against the invading Russians, we'd all be dead by Wednesday.
It's so right.
Because they don't have the same degree of great British spunk that these pilots did. But despite how brave they were, it was one of our allies that won us the Battle of Britain. Does anyone know which ally it was? Yes, it was the Poles. Any Poles in here? Oh no, it's a yacht club, of course not. But the Poles won us the Battle of Britain. And in the last 2 weeks of that battle, when I released the Polish squadrons, they shot down 155 German aircraft in a fortnight. So without them, we couldn't have done it. I was very privileged at one of the RAF bases, Manston, to meet a Polish squadron leader. His name was Jaruzelski. He was 23 years old.